Hey everybody, Mr. Stewart here, and I thought I would take this time to show you another tool to visualize the process for solving equations. So I would typically start with tiles at Mathagon Polypad, and then I would come and use this particular activity at Graspable Math. This one is not open access, so I would create the activities and then send them your way to try out. But here's kind of how it works. So you'll notice we have this equation 2h plus 4 equals 3h minus 1. And what we would like to do is to ensure that we have the h terms isolated to one side of the equation. And then the constants, which is, the 4, the negative 1, they too have to be on one side of the equation. So the way to use it is if you click on keypad, okay, and then click on the whole equation. So just hover over the equal sign and click. What it's going to do is this letter E pops up. Now, E for equation. So what we're going to do is from that equation, so both sides, we're going to, either add or subtract something. So I'm going to subtract 2h because I'd like to zero that out from both sides. So I'll click done, and you'll notice that it creates a new equation, but both with, let me grab this term here. Sorry. There we go. Both with the negative 2h on each side of the equation. So what we can do is gather our like terms. So let's bring this negative 2h term here, and we're going to combine those two like terms to zero them out. Same thing here. I'll take the negative 2h. Oh, I'm going to grab the whole term. There it goes. And we're going to add that to the 3h term. So 3h plus negative 2h is h. So last but not least, I'm going to click the keypad tool again, and hovering over that equation, I'm going to isolate the h term by zeroing out the 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equation, and there you go. So we just need to combine those terms. So there's a zero pair, and we'll add 1 to 4, and you can see that we've successfully solved that equation. So let's try one more. Let's take a look at one that has brackets involved. Okay, so with this one, we need to apply our distributive property. So that means to multiply the 2 into the group. So each term inside that group, so the 7 and the negative 3f, are going to be doubled. So once I draw that 2 inside the bracket and release my mouse, it will successfully double those terms. So now we're back to where we were with the first example. So by clicking the keypad, clicking on the equation, we can start to zero out those terms that we want. So instead of negative 6f, I could add 6f on to each side. Then I can create my zero pairs by combining like terms. So now I have 14 equals 12f plus 2. So I've got 2 more units than I want with that variable term. So click the keypad, click the equation. Let's zero out the positive 2 by subtracting 2. We'll create our zero pairs. Subtract 2 from 12. So we have 12 equals 12f. Now, mentally, that's a quick one to do, so the answer is 1. But for those where it's not so clear, what we'll do is, again, click the keypad, click the equation, and we'll divide both sides by 12. And in order to reduce that 12 over 12 to 1, what we'll do is we'll click on the numerator, we'll drop it down to the denominator, and that effectively cancels. Our 12s, we'll do the same thing on the left, and there we go. We've successfully solved that equation. F is equal to 1.